Good evening. We are back to Wednesday, and you're watching Gamestyle live again. I'm joined by Steve and Andrew. How you doing, gents?
Dandy.
Hello.
We are great. I'm presuming Andrew's great. I'm going to speak for him. Yeah,
Uh,
we're fantastic. Yeah.
uh,
Well, you might as well talk for him. We decided he's got a crap mic set up, and
We're just going to talk
so
over it.
no one can hear him because he sounds like he's
Absolutely.
drowning. I thought you was going to move to your big PC today, anyway.
No, that's next week. Be
Ah.
excited. Next week is going to come in glorious colour.
His colour in a well lit room with a microphone, and we'll hear what you're saying.
No, it's crazy times. But yeah,
Crazy times,
yeah.
mad technology in the year 2015.
There's no fault in your dedication to the podcast stroke live web show. By the fancy Dan mic.
Fancy
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Try and sell
Right.
advertising next week.
This is it. If they did a microphone called Fancy Dan Microphones, I'd probably buy one as well.
that could be a whole range of like the new Virgin in terms of just like market everything as Fancy Dan,
Just
Fancy Dan PCs.
Fancy Dan water, Fancy Dan Coca-Cola,
Your
Fancy Dan pomade.
your
Yes.
Fancy Dan games console. There you
Oh
go.
yes, steam powered or some shit.
Yeah.
And we're off topic.
It's not even started.
Started on a topic. Yeah, this is amazing. Our standard. Literally zero time has been spent on topic so far.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, get it out of the way. Yeah, you keep telling you said that, Brad.
So, the big news this week
Big.
has been Nintendo's latest Directs, of which there has been lots of news. Apparently, I've worked out that I can't digest information at all. So, going to go ahead to Steve, and Steve can lead the topic with this one. He can set us off, and then we'll talk.
Well, it's in no order of importance, mainly because I've just written them down as I remembered them and found them, and so we'll probably end up talking about like the bit that nobody cares about at the end, as opposed to building up to a crescendo of information and discussion. But one of the things that I got really excited about, which I then thought back on that I shouldn't be excited about for various reasons, is the release of Wii games via the Wii U Virtual Console. So Mario Galaxy was after the Direct. This week, tomorrow is Donkey Kong Country Returns, I think. And then on the 29th is Metroid Prime Trilogy, which is excellent if you don't have Metroid Prime Trilogy, because one, it's fantastic. I mean, playing the first Metroid Prime again with Wii controls, apart from being a bit of a mind-bending experience, was pretty cool. But you get 2 or 3 which are fine, and you don't have to pay about £60 for a copy, which is great. So not that I just sold my copy for £60, and so I'm quite excited about that, and they're all £9 each as opposed to the frankly extortionate £18. So yeah, I mean, we'd say, Andrew, what do you think about this turn of events? But seeing as Andrew doesn't own a Wii U, he can start off.
Yeah.
Hey, I've also never really played Metroid Prime either.
What's wrong with you? Why are you even here?
To be fair to me, this is an old grudge. I got really annoyed when they were announcing Metroid Prime, and they insisted on calling it a first-person adventure rather than a first-person shooter.
It's not a first-person shooter.
Yeah, that just means
it's
walking
not-
around. It's
not.
It's got a gun and you shoot things. And it's
It
first
is not a
person.
first-person shooter. It is not.
What would you call Fallout, Andrew? Fallout 3, what's that?
An RPG.
But what do you do in it, Andrew? What do you do in it?
Yeah,
You
what is
play
it?
a role. You play a role in that game.
Generally, how do you attack the enemies you come across, Andrew?
I'm using that VATS system.
Yeah.
Stop. Yes, and what is the means of interacting with the enemy's faces with high velocity items, and how do you project those at the enemy using the VAT system?
There is an option to shoot at some points in that game.
So,
Not
Fallout 3 is a first-person shooter, Andrew.
Is that what you're saying?
Oh, why not? We'll go with it. They
You
didn't.
buried yourself, mate. I'm sorry,
They
but you know,
didn't
you
go
just.
on to every single gaming thing saying, "Oh, it's not an FPS." I know you've all looked at it and think it looks like an FPS, but it's not an FPS. It's not an FPS. It's an FP. Looks at keyboard, finds out what key is next to S. Oh, it's an FPS.
You're such a tool. It's not a first-person shooter. It's kind of the quantification of your grudge is back when they announced it. You know,
No,
it's
yeah, before
you're
that.
an old man. I'm sorry, but you are.
From the original
It's just-
screenshot.
yeah, back in the days of the GameCube when Nintendo and I bet you're one of these people that got really irate that they'd offhanded it to an external studio as well, weren't you?
A little bit. But, yeah.
What the fuck? Seriously? Oh my god.
I like to hold these grudges because it means there's less games to play. If you manage to get a grudge against each individual thing, there's a reason why you've not played it. Oh, Retro Prime's coming out on the Wii U Virtual Console. Oh, well, I'm afraid I can't play that because someone said A instead of S.
Steve, you've just lost your throne as the person who hates video games.
I do not. The one
We
thing.
know you don't, see, we know you don't.
The one thing in this whole wide world I don't hate is video games. People that play video games, yeah, they're assholes. But you know, it's like video games
I'm
are
not
great.
saying that personally.
But, no,
I've met you. You're all right.
Alright.
to stay on that original topic,
Oh right, yeah. Sorry.
my reaction to that news, the news of the Wii games coming out digitally on the Wii U eShop, my reaction went from absolute delight, especially when they said you can use the pad, the game screen thingy, whatever you call it, to play.
Reason. Yeah.
And then I was like, yes, Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the pad, sweet. All they've just done is replace bits with the right stick. Off you go, let's do it. No.
No.
But at the same time, it is pretty cool. Hunched there in a corner with your Wiimote and your nunchuck at a tiny little screen doing your bits. And then I found out that you can get something called Nintendo, which allows you to use the pads to play Super Mario Galaxy 2. So my question is, what the fuck, Nintendo? Why not?
It's laziness. Nintendo. It's like Mark. You see, I thought my reaction went, "Oh, look at all these relatively rare games." Although I found Donkey Kong Country Returns in CEX today for a tenner, so it's not actually that rare anymore. It was like 20 quid classics release or whatever they call it.
Not to release it for ages and ages, didn't they? They released it in the first week with like no copies of it, and then just forgot about it for a while after that. And
Nintendo releasing games and not releasing many copies of it. No, that doesn't sound like Nintendo at all. It's terrible.
It's one of those, distant anecdotes from the past. They don't do that anymore, and they also know when all the games are coming out now. Oh, it's coming out next year. It's coming out this year. It's coming out. Oh, it's got a Toad in it.
To be fair, they have been getting better with the releases. I mean, this is what this direct was, because everybody's going, "Oh, Majora's Mask coming out. When's it coming out? Don't know. When's Xenoblade 3D coming out? No idea. When's the new 3DS? They kind of rectify. They've been doing that with the directs in that they go. Iwata comes on and he goes, oh, please understand and all that crap, and everybody goes, oh, look at him, he's so friendly and nice for a CEO of a multinational corporation that's got by on bending its customers over, and
It's still an arsehole.
it's we're so bitter, but the thing that really kind of I went, whoa, Wii games, great, and then I thought, where are my N64 games? Seriously, we've got NES, we've got SNES, and we've made the jump from. There's no the N64's on the Wii Virtual Console, but there's not on the Wii U. They've been sat in limbo for Christ knows how long, and it's like, but it's easier for them to take the backwards compatibility of the Wii that's built into the Wii U, rip the ISOs to their servers, do some jiggery pokery so it's functional and makes it look like it's running in 1080p, kind of a cursory. There you go, we've made it upscale a bit, and then release them onto the Virtual Console. So on one hand, you've got rare games, can't find them, fantastic. Why they're in first place? Because Nintendo are idiots. But secondly, is like, why have you skipped over 2 generations? Like we were talking earlier on, where are the GameCube games? It's too much effort. That's
on
where
my PC. On my PC now.
No, they're not, Bradley, are they?
I own them. I want to use my discs.
But
no. Computers can't recognise Nintendo Wii or GameCube discs.
Because it's illegal.
It's not illegal to put your own disc in a bloody machine and expect it to play, even if it came up and went, "I'm sorry, you cannot play this disc in your machine."
But-
No, it just ejects it.
Are we talking about the Wii U or the PC now? I'm really
The
confused.
PC.
Oh, right. Well, you see, it's not about the physical thingy. It's about the digital coding of the hardware and all sorts of legal jiggery pokery, which we don't want to get into.
Which is why you were browsing bundles of GameCubes on eBay.
It is. I want to play it on a GameCube or the Wii U. It's Nintendo. I will give you money, lots and lots of money. If you go, here's our GameCube back collection. There we go. There's our back catalogue. Give me money.
Up until this current generation of Xbox One and PS4, I used to think Nintendo were the biggest the games company who were the biggest kind of they made it so difficult for you to give them your money. You're literally, I'm trying to throw my money at you. I'm throwing money at the screen. I'm selling my firstborn and various internal organs, and you are not giving me the things I would like from you. I mean, you can see it as a bit of entitlement, because as gamers we're very good at entitlement, but it's like, you have all this great stuff, we want to buy this great stuff, you're making it difficult for us to buy this great stuff. It's like the whole thing with Ubisoft and Tetris that we were talking about last week, the whole Puyo Tetris thing. We can buy it from Vita from Japan for about 25 quid, navigate menus because it's a puzzle game, fantastic, but we can't bring it out over here because Ubisoft have got license and they're a bunch of arseholes. So, you know, it's like, and the thing is, the gap's got smaller. You know, there's barely any release delay anymore. You know, America don't get things like back in the day. You wanted Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X on the original Xbox. I imported that because I got a modified Xbox and it played American games, and that was great. But it never came out over here. It's like, why? Seriously.
That was one of the reasons I bought my Xbox as well. God damn it.
But
What's
no,
your-
what gets me though, and we'll go back to this with Puyo Tetris, because of the
Let's talk about
stupid,
Vita.
because of the stupid licensing laws that exist, you cannot buy that game digitally. So I can't go to the Japanese marketplace on the PS4 or the Xbox One and get that game. No, because of the licensing laws and Ubisoft owning it in other territories, you cannot release that game digitally. But they can release their Tetris digitally. Why? I don't get angry all that often. I just want Puyo Tetris.
It's a funny, anyway. So yeah, Wii games on Wii U, great stuff. Where's my N64 games and my GameCube games? Thanks, Nintendo. So what's next? Let's go with the new 3DS XL
And
the new
laugh at the
3DS,
Americans.
obviously. Yeah, well, they get the large version, but not the small version. They get the Majora's Mask 3DS XL, but they don't get the game with the Majora's Mask 3DS XL. They don't get the charger, like we don't get the charger, but they're only just not getting the charger, which they're up in arms about, rightfully, because it's a dick move. But we know, being British, we're kind of like, we haven't got a charger with it. I'll just buy one for $6.99. But. So yeah, there's I did have a list of games that somebody sent me that use the new 3DS XL, and there's
Like one.
there's actually quite a few. It's just you've not heard of half of them. Codename Steam's Gunu, the new Afterburner you can use a throttle on the right C stick. Majora's Mask uses the camera control. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, anything that uses the Circle Pad Pro apparently.
See, is there any that are actually only going to work on the new 3DS?
Yes, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D will not work on the old 3DS.
Right.
Because it uses the two back buttons and the C stick as well.
Fair enough. So do you think it's going to be a thing at any point where it's going to be there's more exclusive new 3DS games, or do you reckon that's going to be very minimal?
I can't see how Nintendo is stupid enough to do that. It's like no, you see, Nintendo. I mean, I'm hoping Nintendo aren't going to be stupid enough because they've got such a massive installment. I mean, people are talking about the new 3DS anyway, because that's just the way it works. But seeing as past Christmas, people will have just bought a 2DS for their offspring, or a new 3DS. Pardon me, or something like that.
By a new
You're not going to
3DS, you mean an old new 3DS? A new
You what,
old.
sorry?
By a new 3DS, do you mean a new old 3DS?
Yeah.
They need someone to
You see,
make
this
their
is one thing
products
that
better.
Nintendo need to pull the fucking socks up with, because their branding is absolute fucking balls. It's terrible. It's absolutely shocking. It's like a Wii U. Nobody knows what to do with that. I mean, it's like you stick with the brand name, but a Wii U? Really? I don't get it. It's like Xbox One. No, the Xbox One's the Xbox One. That's not the Xbox One. So it's just... So you've got the new 3DS XL that's got extra buttons and a C-stick. Try explaining that to people. This is the thing. It's like, right, and what did Johnny say earlier on? The whole going on the same thing, Puzzle and Dragons. It's like, send your little Johnny who's 8 years old is going to send his parents off for Puzzle and Dragons, and it's like, I'm getting PTSD flashbacks of working in retail of people that are looking for GTA IV and LA Noire. It's like, what's LA Noire? You know, that game from Rockstar that's like GTA but set in Los Angeles. LA Noire? Oh, right, okay.
That's just basic reading comprehension.
Oh, God, dude, seriously. Oh.
Shouldn't you be allowed to technically holster a weapon if someone comes in and asks for something stupid like that and just between the eyes?
I wish, because to be honest with you, I'd have thought natural selection would have taken these people off at Earth way before they got to the shop, but they didn't. So it's
because you spend too long saving them now.
Oh,
There's too many warnings up about how to cross the road when there's no cars coming.
I'm surprised they can get dressed in the morning. They're quite hardy. They're quite resilient. Anyway, but so Puzzle and Dragons, that looks great. But the 3DS XL, the new 3DS XL and the new 3DS, because the new 3DS comes with faceplates.
Woo.
Yeah. People are fucking well excited about it, man. It's like, I don't give a fuck because I pre-ordered a Majora's Mask in 3DS.
But you see that Japanese advert for the new 3DS when it came out that was just about the faceplate?
No.
Oh, it was amazing. It was like a little fashion-y advert, and it didn't mention games at all. It was just like, oh, you can change the colours, and joy, different colours, joy. And it didn't mention anything at all about the rest of the console. It was just, and you can change the colours.
Is Johnny getting one?
No.
Oh, that's a shame, because what we could have done was ordered in from Japan a Hyperdimension Neptunia special
Oh yeah, he'd
faceplate
love that. Yeah, we could have got a custom
with his waifu thing going on.
Mm. And
He
you know,
likes those games.
his missus would never have let him hear the end of it, of seeing some skimpily clad cyber Lolita something. Oh God, Jesus.
Is that review
I
actually
thought, yeah,
out?
because I'm exhausted, to be honest.
No, that's Friday.
Oh.
What's Friday?
Kicks the Cat goes Saturday.
Alright.
Johnny.
We've only been
Friday.
building up that Pix the Cat review.
I like the Pigs Cat review. It's nice. It's something people to look forward to. It's good. I like it. So you've got the new 3DS XL, which comes in a few colours, and there's a limited edition one which has got Majora's Mask on it, which I wasn't going to pre-order, but I did. And then I got like kind of pre-order remorse, if that's a thing. And then when I'll cancel it, and I went to Nintendo's site and realised they'd sold out, and then I kept it. And so
Because you can stick it on eBay. The silly
I'm not a big fan of that. It's actually showing up on GameStop and Amazon now, actually. You know, because I went into Game and I said, can I pre-order new Majora's Mask 3DS XL, because it were announced the day before, and I went into town the day after with my mother. And he said, well, we had it up pre-order up until 9:10 this morning, and then we got an email from head office saying we're not allowed to pre-order it anymore. And so it looks like Nintendo have pulled rug out from under Game's feet, because they've had POS for ages and they weren't allowed to talk about it, apparently. And so it looks like Nintendo had a deal and then they've gone back on it. Yeah, hearsay and all that, but that's what I heard anyway. So, but no, it's shown up on a couple of game sites. It was on Amazon.fr and stuff, but it's just a. I don't know.
See, I'm just happy to wait until it comes down to a normal price and there's more games for it and so on and so forth.
Had I not got a guaranteed price for my 3DS XL, and had I not sold my Metroid trilogy for what it sold for, I would have probably not bothered. But you know, I've got the majority of the cost off it, so that's the really piss poor justification I've got for pre-ordering yet another console that I'm not going to get the maximum use out of because I don't like Monster Hunter. So there you go.
So I want to come back to something actually, just very, very briefly. You're talking when you said about Nintendo and Microsoft and their naming conventions. Do you know what? It's the one thing you've got to give proper kudos to Sony for. PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4.
It's bizarre, isn't it? It's you know, they've kind of gone straight forward, and I don't know if it's also like movie and game sequels, because there's this big thing about iterations and numbers and recycling and genericism, and is that a word? Probably, but it's just you know, so you get fucking Man Killer, Age of Retribution or whatever, you know, they just stick some. Yeah, I'd probably straight to video in, I don't know, but yeah, so you know, it goes back as far as the PS2, and they just started sticking subtitles underneath, sticking a number on end, and then of course Rockstar came along, went GTA 4, GTA 5, even though it's GTA 7 and 8 or something like that. Christmas. So it's the naming of it does not help the Wii U. I love my Wii U, and I love the game.
Wii 2.
I'd have called it the Wii 2.
And it still rings the same as Wii U.
Yeah, Wii 2 and Wii U. It's like Wii 2. It's like just do it, whatever. This is actually exhausting. Right, so yeah, so the reason 3DS XL, C-Stick, all the buttons, Xenoblade Chronicles 3DS. I've got it on the Wii. Why would I play something as beautiful, even though it's on the Wii and it's running like 480i or whatever, you know, it's running at some piss poor resolution. The art design pushes it forward. You get past the fuzzy visuals and it looks absolutely stunning, regardless. I'd have to check if there's an art book for it, but it's absolutely stunning. And it's like, I don't understand why you'd play it on a console that's got a much smaller screen and getting cramped from trying to work all the controls. It's a good thing, because again, it's one of them games that costs an absolute fortune because it came out and it disappeared because nobody bought it. So, and it's a Nintendo published game, Kel Surprise. So, you know, it's a good thing that it's coming out, but I just don't see how the console could do it justice. And also, you have to own a new 3DS to actually play it,
which makes it a bloody expensive game.
So probably what they've done is not made that many copies of it, so it's probably going to be quite rare in the future.
Pretty much. I mean, if I were a betting man, which I'm not, but you're right about that. So you know, you'd buy it, you leave it. It's like Bravely Default. Bravely Default sticks to its value. It's still 30 quid, 32 quid second hand, 35, 40 quid brand new. You can guarantee that if you picked up the whole library of Wii U games, at least 60% of them will be worth something 2 or 3 years down the line, because they'll just disappear. I mean, find a relatively cheap copy of Tropical Freeze. You can't. You fucking can't. You just cannot, because there aren't any. You know, this sold. Yeah.
You could probably fund a new console based on the Wii U games that you will have if you just buy them at regular price when they're first released.
This is it. I'm just not selling mine anymore, because it's like I managed to find a copy of the Wonderful 101 for less than 40 quid second hand. I was elated. I thought it was brilliant.
I got mine for like 18 quid.
Yeah, I know. I picked it up for 20 quid a few days ago. But you look on Amazon, which is, you know, seeing as the high street's dying on its arse, and Game are willing to, you know, help facilitate that. You struggle to find it anywhere else. I mean, they did. I've been looking for it for a while, but they got it on shelf for 20 quid. I ripped their arm off for it, running out at shop, cackling and laughing. Look what I've got! Look, fucking Wonderful 101.
Bit like Charlie Bucket, I've got the golden ticket.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And then weird bespectacled German chap came.
Assuming Charlie Bucket then went home and put the golden ticket in his pile of other golden tickets, and then went on the internet and told people he got a golden ticket, but then didn't actually have time doing it.
That's how the reboot of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory should have gone. No Johnny Depp,
Charlie's a hoarding
backlog.
eBay monkey.
Yeah.
Charlie gets his golden ticket, runs home, dodges Slugworth, goes to his grandma and grandpa. They're all laid up in bed, going, "Look at this! This is our ticket to a new life." How do you mean? I'm going to stick it on eBay for £300,000.
See, in that absolute scenario, where Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, whatever one you want to do, is Nintendo. Who is Slugworth?
God.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anybody in Xbox anymore because they're all quite lovely and like gamey. I think it'd be. I think Crazy Ken would come out of retirement. Crazy Ken would come out and he'd go.
The secret.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's secretly been working for Nintendo all along.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I think they've got him tied up in a rubber room somewhere now.
But sorry to anyone I've just spoiled the end of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for.
If you've not seen it or you've not read it by this point, then you deserve everything you get, to be perfectly frank.
Yes, I agree.
So, this you see, this is the thing. It's like it's very easy to bash on Nintendo because they do so much wrong. It's like some weird Stockholm syndrome relationship with a game company because it's like they do so much wonderful stuff. It's like Captain Toad. Just finished that. Well, I say I finished it. I got to one at last 4 levels and it did me head in, and kind of my condition for finishing stuff this year is I either finish it or it gets to the point where I put my fist through the TV and I stop playing. And so Captain Toad got a little bit like that, and so I stopped it. But it's wonderful. It's lovely crafted. It's a little bit twee, but it's pure Nintendo on a disc. Super Mario World 3D Land, Super Mario 3D World, best Mario since Galaxy or Galaxy 2. I haven't played it, so I need to sort that out. But it feels like Mario World. It's fantastic, and so you get all this stuff, and then they do things like skipping the N64 on the Virtual Console, not supporting the Virtual Console. They've got a license to print money by just going, oh, look at all these Game Boy Advance games. There you go. Because some of them, you find a boxed copy of Pokemon at Game Boy Advance for less than 35 quid.
Do you know what would be nice? If those GBA games worked on the 3DS.
It's so archaic. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to shut up because I'm just gonna end up going off on one. But it's
I know it's been discussed and stuff like that. I would absolutely love to see Nintendo go, do you know what? Hardware, we're done. We're just gonna make games for Xbox, for PlayStation, for Vita, and just give you all that we do really, really well, and just sack off the rest of it.
Do you know what? I don't even know if that. I don't think I'd want that. I like the specialness that you get from a Nintendo console, and that's what the Wii U is now. It's a Nintendo console. It's GameCube 2. You're only going to get stuff for the Wii U from Nintendo because nobody else cares. They'll release Just Dance Ubisoft because it's a money spinner and whatnot, but nobody else cares. So you get all these wonderful Nintendo games, but it's like they can capitalize on this. They can, even if they make a Wii 3 in 2 years' time, just move forwards all the stuff that's on the Virtual Console. Just move it wholesale across. Get your fucking infrastructure, your online stuff, get your house in order, and just get it shifted across. And it's like, I mean, the thing is, being a Nintendo fan is kind of this punching bag feeling of knowing when the new Nintendo console comes out, and if they've got a new infrastructure, they don't move everything across, but you'll buy everything again anyway, because we've been doing it for years.
See, this whole thing with regards to that, there is something special about a Nintendo console. I'm not going to disagree, but my problem was with the Wii U was I had to wait until a time where I looked at it and went, now it's worth getting on board, because I know that aside from the Nintendo games, the third party stuff's going to be shite. It's going to be bad on the whole.
There was hope. There was hope because it's like Mass Effect 3 and Darksiders and stuff like that. It's like they're ports, fine, but that's how it starts. I mean, look at the Xbox One and the PS4. So it's.
But the problem you had at that time with the Wii U and the up-preses to the new PlayStation 4, Xbox One, is they didn't feel like the best versions to have of those games. No. Now, some may well have been, but they didn't feel like the best versions to have. Whereas you go and get The Last of Us Remastered, the PS4 is the best version. There's probably going to be no doubt that the Borderlands package that's coming out is going to be the best version.
Yeah.
You don't get that with the Nintendo ones. It was always, I think, the same back on the N64 days. You know, you had Wipeout on the PlayStation. Well, that was much better than the N64 release.
Yeah.
Pro Evo and International Superstar Soccer. Well, ISS was good to play, but it wasn't the best version. And there was that side of it. And it's one of the reasons, yes, I don't want to see Nintendo go because they do innovate and they do bring out some cracking first party stuff. But being able to play something like Super Mario 3D World, and I won't say on what console, sorry, Super Mario 3D Land, on that other console with the better screen and so on and so forth, or being able to play some of the other Mario games on the Wii U on an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4, that's just going to be amazing. With that, what Nintendo can do with less power, imagine what they could do with more.
It's I don't know. I don't know.
I emphatically disagree. I think what they'd be better doing is just going back to actually doing a GameCube 2. And this is just a game. It comes out. It costs £40. You play it. You sit down with your friend. They also play it with you if they're sat next to you, and that's it. There's no downloadable stuff or anything. It's just the most simple, basic console that it doesn't have any complicatedness, and games come out once a month or so, and there aren't any third-party things at all. And it's just, if you want these games, you buy this console, you buy the games when they come out. That's it.
In the current way that the world's going, it's suicide. It is. It's absolute.
A little bit, but
the GameCube was a failure.
If that's what they'd be thinking at. Is basically what I mean. If in an ideal world, that is what Nintendo should do.
In an ideal world, Nintendo would be outselling other two, but then everybody would love the Nintendo games. But Pete, it's like when Capcom came out with Xbox One with Dead Rising 3, and because the Microsoft E3 conference wasn't short of hilarious things, and they said, "Oh, we're going after Call of Duty crowd," and it's like, you are never getting that crowd. That crowd is insular. They play Call of Duty, FIFA, and GTA. That's it. You cannot make people care about games like Super Mario 3D World if they've got no interest in it. You can't market it to them. Short of blunt force trauma, you're not doing anything like that. So it's like, Nintendo have a place in the world, and I think that the future of Nintendo is Nintendo embracing that place and being happy with being there. Because I don't know how popular opinion this is going to be, but the Wii is a blip. The original Wii is a blip on the radar. The market that the Wii brought to gaming has all but disappeared. I mean, some of them had stuck around for the PS4 and the Xbox One, but most of the people have gone because
they was all 85 and are now dead.
Harsh, but yes. So it's, but no, it's just.
It's okay. They'll not hear us.
No, it's all right. They're already in ground because they bury people a week after the D, so it's fine. This has all gone very serious. We need to do something to alleviate it. So.
But no, I agree with you when you say the Wii, it was a blip. You look beyond the SNES. The N64 was the second console in terms of popularity, just about fighting the good fight. The GameCube was a fantastic console, absolutely fantastic.
Wonderful
but
console.
It was a failure to a degree.
Yeah, to a degree.
And then the Wii came out, and it sold itself on anyone can play, and people thought they were actually bowling or actually playing tennis, and that was it. Everyone, they was happy with a Wii and Wii Sports.
I remember reading somewhere that the software attach rate of the Wii U was like the worst of any console ever, something like it. It's a bit hyperbole and stuff like that, but it's like when you've got one of Nintendo's biggest mistakes was putting Wii Sports in with every fucking console, because it was such a brilliant demonstration of the system, and it was actually fantastic that nobody felt the desire to buy it. Exactly, nobody needed to buy anything else. It's just it's actually quite depressing.
It never made people go back to the shops. That was the problem with it. It just you got it and that was it. The most Wii thing about the Wii for me was that the very first time I played it, it was at the Good Food Show in Earl's Court, and I think that's the most Wii thing you can possibly have. That this console launched, and the first time I got a chance to get my hands on it was when I also bought some really lovely cheese. Oh, it was good.
He is an old man, isn't he?
Absolutely. I don't even know why you're here with us youngsters.
It was good cheese. It was damn good cheese.
Good. Do you know feed cheese? Or was it? Sorry, we're talking cheese. Soju. Was it like feed cheese, or was it a nice mellow, rounded, cheddar-y kind of cheese? Or
it was a cheddar, but with chili as well.
Lovely! Yeah, I love some of that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
Sorry, but I'm just going to say something relevant.
Shall I tell you how I got my very first Wii?
Did you bludgeon somebody in the street for it?
Not quite. No, not quite. When I lived in Liverpool, we had a game of poker. And I bet someone, I said, look, he went, I'm going to win. I went, tell you what, if you win this game of poker, Av, you can buy me a Wii. And he turned around and went, go on then. He won about 30 quid in the game. And he, literally 2 weeks later, I got a message off him going, something in the post for you today, and a fucking Wii turned up. Sweet.
Pointless.
Brilliant. That's like, yeah, that's great. I wish stuff like that happened still. But yeah, I had Wii Sports. I don't think I bought Zelda or Mario or anything because it was just the only time it came out was once I realised that it was the waggle. I was like, yeah.
That was. I mean, I saw the Wii when I was back working in retail. We went down to a show in Birmingham, and they were showing retailers. What, sorry?
For the cheese, probably.
Yeah, for the cheese, because it was lovely. But they were showing the Wii around, and I was so excited. I was absolutely pumped and hyped for it. And I remember coming out and being not crushed, but I kind of went, that's not what I expected. It's not how I kind of... It had Excite Truck and stuff like that, but I don't know what I was expecting, to be perfectly honest with you.
I still go into Game and CEX on a regular basis in the hope of seeing Kirby, the la-di-da one, what's it, with all like the materials, Woody World or something.
I've been looking for years. I can't remember what it's called.
Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Epic Yarn, sorry, yeah, that's the one.
Epic
I
Yarn's
keep looking for that. Oh no, because I want it, but by the time that came out, I got rid of my Wii. Because it just wasn't being played and I had bills to pay and what have you.
It wouldn't surprise me if they released it on the download thing. So.
For $8.99.
Well,
can I just point out that as the non-Nintendo person here, I really like the Wii. I thought it was a really good console.
Because you're an old man.
Really good games for it.
Yeah, you're an old man. You can only play bowling on it. the thing is with the Wii is it's got some good games for it, but I hated the control method. I remember starting Skyward Sword and doing the thing where you've got to dip and dive, and you got to hold the remote up to balance along things, and I'm like, I'd be enjoying this game about 300% more if I didn't have to fuck about with the waggle. It's just, I'd be enjoying it more if I didn't have to mess up. If I just got a pad in my hand and I was playing it like a Zelda game, like I've played all the other Zelda games, and that was predominantly the problem with Mario Galaxy. Didn't really count because there was better, that just felt natural and nice. But yeah, Skyward Sword, I think, would have been better.
You'd still have a lot of using the pointer and stuff, especially.
Well, no, because you just kind of you kind of shook it to spin, and then you kind of pointed at the screen to pick the crystals up. But you could run over the crystals. You could run over the star bits.
Yeah, no, it felt a lot like a Wii game. For
it was built for the Wii, that's why.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Is Captain Obvious, cheers. But you see, I've lost my fucking thread now. God, I hate you both. You can die.
Yeah.
Burn.
Super Mario Galaxy, the only Mario game I've really properly liked. It's great. Excite Truck, genuinely brilliant. Not as good as Excite Bike 64, but never mind. Excite Bike 64, I think, would probably make it into my top 10 of all-time games.
Really?
That was amazing. a new version of Boy and His Blob. That was amazing. That wouldn't have happened on any other console.
I missed a lot of. You see, this is it. I mean, the problem with the Wii, looking through the eBay today when we were talking about it, and we were looking through the eBay listings for consoles and what, there is so much dreck. I'd forgotten how much shovelware tat there was for the Wii, and
in my local CEX on GameCube, they've got 5 copies of BMX Triple X on the GameCube.
Oh God, no. BMX, it's like somebody put that on Twitter. They said, how did Nintendo, like, because they were looking for a mature market, weren't they? They were desperate to try out, and so it got, Nintendo seal of quality didn't really count for out when it got to GameCube. So
I think before it came out, people were kind of expecting it to be okay, and then it was appalling as well as
as misogynistic and objectifying women and all that bad stuff.
And even as a teenage boy, you still weren't getting off to that. It was
no.
Dead or Alive volleyball. That's where it was at.
Oh, God. Dead or Alive volleyball.
Awkward silence for podcast listeners.
Yes, the awkward silence is all us lamenting the fucking miserable state that game designers try to achieve of captivating a teenage audience into trying to control a game one hand and stick their hands down the pants in second. Oh, fucking Jesus. What are we talking about?
Could you imagine if Anita Sarkeesian started her web show back in the PS2 and GameCube days?
I couldn't even begin. I really couldn't. Gaming's come a long way in a lot of ways, and not so much in others. But it could always be worse.
Oh yeah.
Where are we? What time is it? Oh, it's only 22. That's all right. Okay, so Nintendo, right? You what? Sorry.
Amiibos.
Amiibo. No. We don't want to go down that path because
So, what do you think of Amiibos?
I love them.
Oh God! Right, Amiibos are fine. Some of them are very nice. Some are a bit ropey. The nicer ones generally tend to be the characters that are chunky and 2 or 3 colours, like Yoshi, Pikachu, Kirby, Mario, Luigi. When you start getting into ones like Adult Link and Marth and Samus, they're still of a very nice quality, but you can kind of see how the chunkier characters look nicer. And it's kind of indicative if you look at the Disney Infinity figures, because the Disney Infinity figures have been redesigned to be a one-piece plastic figure. And so there's not much detail on them. They're nice and chunky. They're pretty basic, but they look fantastic. Whereas you get to the ones, I mean, the next wave we were talking about, there's because it comes in 3 stages, I think, or this, but there's like Shulk, Rosalina, who looks all right. So they're all, from an aesthetic point of view, they're fine. But there was the whole thing on the Nintendo Direct where they're remolding and re-releasing them. I missed that bit because my internet was paying the goat, so I'm not entirely sure what they are. So Bradley, please tell us what this next wave of Amiibos that are based on Mario are.
They're basically, from what I've seen, is that basically instead of Mario with a fireball, you've got normal Mario, just stood there doing his bit. You've got, instead of Luigi flying, it's Luigi stood there doing his bit. So they're just literally minor variations of that original wave.
So what you're saying here is that Nintendo are releasing different variations of Mario.
It's new ground for them, honestly.
They're basically, they're not that Nintendo were known for this because they've never done this before, but they basically just re-released the ones they've just released, but in slightly different form.
Right. This is something I've really not been paying attention to for the last 30 years.
I want Toad.
It's I don't know when they're coming, to be honest with you. I like I say, The amiibo thing, I thought I was going to get the Samus, and the thing with the Samus is because she was a completely different scale to all the other characters, even though I wasn't going to buy the other characters, it kind of put me off a little bit. And I'm like, right, so this Samus can cost me either 12 or 15 quid, depending where you shop. Nintendo suggested retail price, kids, and I thought, well, it's 10 or 15 quid, and it's 10 or 15 quid I could put towards one of those very nice Samus Reveltechs that you can buy for about 35 quid from like Hobby Link Japan or whatever. And I can actually have a nice Samus figure as opposed to a quite moderately nice little thing that does something on my Wii U, which I've got no idea. I don't even know how they work.
It's got to be said, I am looking forward to the Disney Infinity ones getting to the stage where they appear at every single boot sale, so I can pick up them, especially the Guardians of the Galaxy one. So I've got no interest in buying the game at all, but those are awesome. They look great. But the Amiibo ones, they don't look... I don't think many people would want them unless they were crazy Nintendo collectors, obviously. There are a few of those around. And if they want them for the game. I don't see many people buying them just because they look really cool.
And this is why... Yeah, go on, sorry.
But for me, so I'm going to say that's the reason we're not going for the we must complete the whole collection thing, because I'm just not going down that route. We tried to do that with Disney Pixar cars when the toys, the die-casts of those came out.
Oh, you just dug yourself a chuffing grave there.
Yeah, well, they're basically none of those are in pristine condition anymore.
No.
They was given to, in the end, they was given to the boy to play with. But yeah, a friend of mine.
A boy to play with.
You give the boy toys. The toys are collectibles. Are you crazy?
Oh,
but a friend of mine.
We've just lost at least 65% of our.
But a friend of mine used to buy two versions. He used to buy one to be played with, and one that would go in the loft. He sold them for a small fortune, I believe, but it was pointless. Yeah. See, I'm happy at the moment. We've got Pikachu and we've got proper Link. We're going to get Cartoon Link. We're going to get Toad. We'll probably get Mario. Kirby looks awesome, so I need to get Kirby. But I'm not too bothered about Xenoblade characters.
No, this is why some of them are going to be. This is what I mean.
I don't care about Wii Fit Trainer.
No, but it's that's why this.
Valuable, that one though.
Well, it's not. I think it's not as valuable as Little Mac, is it? Little Mac's the most expensive one at the minute, but it's kind of like any toy. Any toy you get like a crate of 10, and there's going to be, quite a bit of one, and then a few less of the next, and there's going to be like one in every 6 pallets or something stupid like that, and that's where the desirability comes from, and driving up demand, but. It's all proportionate demand. So, like you say, you've got the Nintendo fans that are looking for them because they think they're great. That's fantastic, People get excited, and that's wonderful. But it's also a small portion. There's no desirability outside of Nintendo fans. Whether there should be or not is something for another time. I don't know.
Well,
but it's.
But it's for me, and this is where I was going with this, is if I get the ones that I know I like, and they're generally the more popular Nintendo characters, said Pikachu, Mario, Luigi, Peach, those sort of characters, I'm happy for those to be on a shelf, because they just look great, people will come and look at them, they're going to probably instantly recognise who they are. It's the same with the Disney Infinity characters. I really don't think we're getting those to use in Disney Infinity.
No.
But they just look absolutely fantastic in terms of just models, and I'm happy to be there. Lucas wants Groot, he wants Rocket Raccoon, he wants the entire Guardians of the Galaxy ones. While I was looking at those, I saw Jack Skellington, and I was like, I really, really want that. And I'm looking at even the Frozen characters, I'm like, Jesus, they're really smart. I want those as well.
Bizarrely, yeah, they're the ones I've got. I don't have Infinite anymore. I sold it ages ago, but I've got. Elsa, Rapunzel, Wreck-It Ralph, Jack Skellington, and Venom. They're the ones I picked up because they're just on my shelf. They're in the box, I'm that arsehole that leaves everything in the box, and it's lovely. I love them. I think they're fantastic. They don't serve any purpose other than they sit on my shelf and they look nice.
But that's
I like
fine.
that. Yeah, that is fine, and that's why I think that's why I'm not. I don't want anybody to think I'm bashing the Amiibos because having them to look at them is fantastic.
But they're still doing stupid shit with it though, which is you need to erase your Smash Brothers data to use it on Mario Party. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's a little bit skeptical. even
So
for
you need
Nintendo.
to buy 2 of the same character if you want to use them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but no,
Anyway,
I like them.
different different colours for your planes on Ace Combat. That's exciting.
Charizard's coming. That's all I
Will
care
that
about.
also be in Ace
Charizard.
Combat? That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Charizard Ace Combat plane.
How long?
Get me on board for the Wii U.
How long do you reckon before we get slightly smaller amiibo style models exclusively as the 5 million Pokemon that are available?
They can't because
With-
isn't there like 700 Pokemon now or something like that?
What you do is, like on Skylanders where you get your little round circle track team, if you had that as a Pokeball that opened up and sat there, and then you put your little Pokemon characters on it, and
Yeah.
they was able to go into a new Pokemon game that beams wirelessly to the 3DS or 4DS, whatever the next one is when they decide to do it all.
When they designed the ability to travel through time.
I will sell everything just to get that, because
you're worse
I
than
do
him.
like my Pokemon.
No.
Never
So
750 little Pokemon.
Speaking of ridiculous spending, I didn't even like Borderlands that much. I really want that remote control claptrap. I'd buy the hell out of that if I was slightly drunk. I can't get drunk until after that's sold out now.
you see,
I emailed 2K. And went, oh, that special edition looks nice. I wonder if we could review it.
yeah.
No.
Did you hear the laughing from where you were sat?
Hey, lads, come and have a look at this. Yeah. No, that's not happening. He went, yeah, it is nice, isn't it?
The thing is, it's like I saw it and I went, that's you what, sorry?
It's just genius. It's just as good as it could possibly be, which is ridiculous. For a piece of tat that comes in a box with a re-release of Borderlands, they've made this little thing, and you can even, apparently the camera on the front, you just look through your phone like little...
Really?
Yeah, it's controlled through the clap-to-rap app.
Oh God! Oh gee!
Yeah,
You see, this is typical. This is typical Gearbox. It's like, I for one thing, how can you justify $400 on a remote control robot? I'm
trying.
I know you're
yourself.
very trying.
You can just hear yourself there, Steve. How can you justify $400 on a remote control robot? Because it's a remote control robot.
No. You see,
With a camera.
If it
And
was
it says, look at me, I'm dancing, I'm dancing.
well, I'm sold.
Does it dance?
What? For
Does it actually
$400? $400, I want a robot that isn't remote control, but actually thinks for itself and makes me a fucking cup of tea in the morning. That's what I want for $400.
Didn't Toby do one of those?
Toby? Who's Toby?
Tomy.
Tommy! Oh, Tommy! Oh, for Christ.
They done one of those. You be a little servant robot, didn't it?
Servant robot.
What was that one you could program? I'm sure Toby did one. You could do it. You could kind of program where it goes.
I'm pretty sure it didn't make a cup of tea, Brad. I'm pretty sure of that.
In the advert,
Someone must have a robot kettle with mind stones.
Scalding water. That's nice and safe for the children.
Especially if the robot kettle goes sentient.
It's just wait, it's just pretty warm in here. But yeah, so that's our Nintendo bashing podcast. How to make friends and influence people by slating Nintendo for an hour on a Wednesday evening.
And then concluding that what the games industry really needs is a $400 robot.
But this is where we're absolutely stupid, right? We have kind of been going, Nintendo.
So many places.
We've been going, Nintendo, why Nintendo, oh, bloody hell, Nintendo. Yeah, next purchase I make's going to be lining the pockets of Nintendo.
And that is indicative of it all, because I am going to buy Nintendo games. I am going to buy a new 3DS XL. I am going to buy, whatever Nintendo throw at me sooner or later. Like, you know, I'm complaining about the lack of N64 games on the Virtual Console. I'm still going to buy Donkey Kong Country Returns and Metroid Prime Trilogy, because why wouldn't I? You know. And so you end up in this cycle. I think the thing is with Nintendo is Nintendo are never going to really progress, and Nintendo are always going to be Nintendo. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, and whether it's sustainable, I honestly don't know. I'm not Michael Pachter. So it's
I wouldn't have you on if you was.
How does that clown shoe get work? Anyway, it's just one of them things. It's
Join us next week when our special guest is Michael Pachter.
And also Michael Pachter's players.
Because I'd just be screaming blue murdered out microphone, I swear to God.
See, the one good thing that, well, not the one, there was plenty of good things that did come out of the Direct, but the one thing that really impressed me most was the Mario vs Donkey Kong release with the absolute cross-buy to that. I love Mario vs Donkey Kong. In fact, I should get that for my DS, my 2DS, because I really want to play that again. And I like the concept behind that. Whichever one you buy, you get a code for the other one. Which is great.
It's just like the cross-buy on PS3 stroke PS4 and Vita, you know, it
is. But isn't it more designed that you can create your own levels as well in the Wii U version?
I don't get it.
Into the 3DS version.
I don't care. I
think it's more best to find out if they lose sales in total. I think it's very much just a marketing business strategy test thing. And I hope that it comes out with whatever the right result is so they do it a lot more, because cross-buy and such like on Sony is literally the best thing that's happened to gaming in a very, very long time.
I agree. I think though, I mean, if this is a thing that makes Nintendo take leaps, and hopefully quick leaps, to catching up with the way that Microsoft and Sony operate at least their stores and their accounts, because tying all your purchase to a Wii U console is, quite frankly, fucking retarded. It's stupid. It is the most ridiculous, archaic way of. I just can't. I can't even get angry about it anymore because it's just ridiculous. I mean, to be fair, I was wrong about the 3DS. I thought the 3DS was the same. But if you've got your 3DS and your new 3DS in the same place, then you could transfer the licenses. But they're still tied to the console and not my Nintendo ID. And it's like...
See, but doesn't that then start costing them sales of the new 3DS? Because if I knew I could sell an older console to fund the newer console, I'd be more likely to buy. But in this scenario, I've got to buy first and then sell and hope I'm going to get decent enough value, whereas I can decide based on the value I'm going to get beforehand.
Well, this is the ridiculous thing about it, because Game, as far as I can tell from what people have said, Game are doing a thing where you essentially buy a new console and then you either put a deposit down or something like that, take the console home, switch everything across and bring your old console in for the credit or whatever it is. So it's like, but it's so convoluted. If they could only change their infrastructure so it's tied to your account. I mean, if I sold my Xbox One and then I bought another one down the line or something, I'd be able to download everything again. I can't do that with a Wii U. It's I don't know if it doesn't make good business sense for them or what, but from a consumer point of view, it's a literal no-brainer. I don't get it. I don't understand.
It is genuinely one of the things that's put me off buying a Wii U. Just that whole useless system.
You're not alone. I know so many people that say I'm not buying any more Nintendo stuff until they sort it out. It's ridiculous. But the thing is, all this negativeness, because we have been incredibly negative about all this, which I find a bit sad, because, you know, once upon a time you got Nintendo stuff and it really was a joyous thing. But I sat on Twitter while this was happening, and I suppose you kind of got your own little ecosystem, so you don't really see a broader spectrum of it. But all these things were generally greeted with massive enthusiasm and like, yay, kind of thing. And that's great, because it's all so cynical at the minute, as we've proved for the last hour of doing nothing but bitch and moan about our stupid Nintendo.
I've been incredibly positive. I talk about these and and that little robot.
Yeah. What was the first thing you said? The first thing you said was the reason I bear a grudge against Nintendo for the Metroid Prime trilogy, for Metroid Prime, the reason I haven't played it is because they didn't call it a first-person. They called it a first-person adventure.
That's only been 13 years.
Is that all?
Entirely reasonable amount of time to bear a grudge about one letter.
And yeah, that's what we're taking away from today.
Yes, it's like the morals of the story at the end of Mask and He-Man, isn't it? It's like, what have we learned today? Well, you should look both ways for crossing the road, and you should bear grudges about games and their genres for 13 years, and not buy any consoles based upon those deep-seated, festering, rotten, hatred-filled, recriminations.
Also, look out for robots that can say, I'm dancing.
I'll tell you what, how long before they're cheap in a boot sale?
Oh, not soon enough, I'll tell you that for now.
Right, to finish,
Right.
okay. We suppose we should cover a bit of what's been happening on the site and what's coming up on the site.
Oh, right, relevant stuff, right, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, obviously, it's been a strange, long week. A lot's happened since we were last on air. We've got a brand new site, which looks fantastic. We've got a new logo, which some people like, other people don't, but tough, it's there now. We are going to be doing a lot more Twitch streaming. Yes, Steve will be shouting at games in 5 weeks' time.
Fantastic, get me 5 back, I can't wait. I'm sick of languishing on peasant 14 meg broadband. I get 80 back, and I can stream to my art's content, which means I probably won't do it as much as I should be. But
we've got that going on. If you check our YouTube channel out, I've updated everything with playlists and everything now, so you can just go and click on Gamestyle Live as a playlist, get it all. You can do our we plays, we're calling it, because we're not being giant on, we're calling it Quick Looks, despite that being the best name. Can't really take that.
Is it W-I-I play?
Oh crap, yeah, there's already a game called We Play, isn't there? Oh, no, sod it. No one bought it because they only ever got one game on the Wii anyway.
Why don't you just call Gamestyle Plays?
It came with a remote.
Style Play. I don't know. Someone give us a name. Give us a good name.
Yeah, because that works so well for renaming this actual podcast from Gamestyle Live.
Well, that's how
Gamestyle Plays.
Gamestyle Plays. That's what I just said. That's literally what the fucking.
Okay, I'll update that.
That's it. We're done.
Cool.
Stick a fork in it. It's done.
But we're going to be looking at some tabletop stuff across the course of the year. Yeah, we're going to branch out a little bit into that.
That's me and Johnny sorted that. It's
not going to be. We're still dedicated to the games, but let's branch out a bit. We've got the Yay or Nay section. That's going to be having a lot more content coming. You will have seen there's a couple of reviews of art books in there. I'm going to do my Velocity art book because that was wonderful and I like looking at it a lot. I'm going to have a look. We're going to be having a look at a Loot Crate at some point. We've got a Magic the Gathering diary, I think we're going to do on that, as me and my son attempt to get into that world. So what you'll see is looking quite healthy at the start of that diary, and by week 52 or something, I'm just going to be a total mess as I can't afford to eat. But I've got cards piled up left, right, and centre.
It's a bad.
It's a very silly.
But luckily enough, I've got my missus. She went, "That's never happening." So
she's right.
No, yeah. I don't want to. We're happy. It's going to be me and my son playing against each other. We've got other ball games we're going to do. I've kickstarted one as well, and I can't remember which one it is I've kickstarted, but it looks pretty cool. It's a space sci-fi type one.
Oh God, it's a slippery slope, I tell you.
It's a very, very slippery slope.
But yeah, so more stuff like that. We will hopefully be looking at getting some PC stuff done. We've got apparently an interesting review for Pix the Cat coming this week. One review should be checking out will be Johnny's review for Hyperdimension
Oh,
Neptunia.
I am so looking forward to that.
We've had a snippet I can't wait to read. He's not even put it up for us to read yet, but I'm going to wait for that. I'm not even going to look at the review before I post it. I want to be there day one. I've never heard so much hatred.
Spoilers!
Oh. It could be really good in the end. He could just be tricking us.
It could be. Do you know what? After talking to him about it, I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen.
After talking him down from that bridge, it's...
From ledge. Yeah, after stood. I say, it's not worth it, Johnny. Come down. Come on, let's go and talk. Let's have a cup of tea, and we'll talk about Hyperdimension Neptunia, and we'll sweep it under the carpet.
I wonder if he'll take the next game like that, or whether I'm going to have to bite the bullet and review it.
No, knowing Johnny, he probably will, but I think you
might...
might...
Well, we almost sent Adam over the edge. He had a run of doing all those games, and he sent him over the edge.
Be sure to check out our website.
Yes, our website. The most rootinest, tootinest, amazing, weeaboo, fluting website in the universe.
But yeah, we look professional now on the website.
We are incredibly professional.
We've just got to get this
very nice.
professional.
The site recently, do go and look at it. It does look very shiny and nice.
Oh yeah, no, it looks lovely. No, it looks great. Check it out. Read some stuff. You know, help us feel validated. All that good stuff.
Yeah, and I believe that is it. I can't think of anything else that...
No, I think we ought to leave quickly before people find us and kick down his doors and burn us at the stake for heresy of Nintendo.
Yeah. Next week we are going to have an exclusively positive podcast.
It is. It's going to be... Actually, you know what?
Go on, Steve.
No, I was just going to apologise for being a moany bitch. That's all. Go on, you.
We've had a serious discussion today.
I think we have, but I just feel bad because it's like I feel like I'm kicking some kindly uncle that is kind of off, that give me lots of love and stuff like that, but then somehow kick my dog, and then I beat the living shit out of him, and then I feel bad about it because he's on the floor going, "Don't kick me."
On the plus side, we've managed to leave Ubisoft alone this week, and Sony.
No, we didn't. We talked about Ubisoft having the Tetris bloody franchise at the beginning of the chuffing show, you soft sock.
Yeah, but that was just a one-off quip. It wasn't a deep moan. Same with Sony, we've kind of left them alone. Nintendo's taken the brunt of it this week.
Do you know what? One of these days we will get through an entire show without mentioning the Vita, without mentioning Ubisoft, and, well, not from now on, not kicking Nintendo, so...
Well, to be honest, at the end of the day, Nintendo are great. But before we go, there's one game coming out that is my recommendation for the week. In fact, it's something we can do each week because we need a gimmick. Did either of you guys like Hydro Thunder?
Yes, actually, yeah.
Xbox One, from the makers of Hydro Thunder. You know, I think it was a mobile game to start with, but Riptide GP2.
All right.
Coming to Xbox One this week at something like stupid, like $3.99.
I will keep my eyes open for that.
And I looked at it, just went, yeah, I'm going to get $3.99's worth out of that at least.
Is that a sequel to one that came out on the 360? Because there was a Hydro Thunder alike on that, and it was amazing.
Typhoon or something, was it? Yeah, that was good. That was
Hydro
excellent.
Thunder Hurricane was amazing, but it's from the guys who did that. So that's all you need to know. £4 for something like it.
Is it going to be like? Is it going to be like a quantum redshift to the people who were originally on Wipeout, though?
I don't reckon so. It looks good.
Okay, fair enough. Right. There you go. £4, Xbox One.
And we will see you all next week.
I hope we see you all next week, and we haven't put you off
Talk
too
about
much.
cheese and robots.
Cheese, robots, and Nintendo.
Miyamoto's got a hit out on us now, in all fairness.
Good to say we're doomed. We've had it.
With cheese and robots.
We'll placate him with a nice cheddar while doing wub wub.
Miyamoto loves the cheddar. That's
Massive.
We love you, Nintendo. We love you so much.
I think we should run.
We should.
Now.
Bye all.
Bye everybody.